Going on, bros? This is BDLM coming to you with my friend J4Y, bringing you some more games from the ESWC. What's going on, Jay?
Hey man, how you doing? Looks like we're into the semifinals now. As you can see here, it's going to be EHOME up against those Fnatic MSI boys. But in this tournament, they actually weren't picked up by them, so I guess they're back in their 4GL tag. How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. Yesterday they patched in Lifestealer, and unfortunately it looks like some of the replays from this tournament were lost. So while we were trying to do all the games from the group stages, we're left here with only the semifinals to bring you. So as we were saying, this is EHOME versus MSI, now MSI. So let's go through the lineup. We have for EHOME, Beastmaster, Windrunner, Anti-Mage, Witch Doctor, and Clockwork versus Venomancer, Lich, Tidehunter, Drow, and Vengeful Spirit. So do you have any opening remarks about these teams? What do you think about them?
Well, EHOME obviously decided to play it pretty safe. Yeah, obviously, like we were saying, we couldn't see the bans or anything, but Anti-Mage is in the pool, and they did get picked up. As you know, Anti-Mage is like one of those heroes we go on about. Spectre, Anti-Mage, those kind of heroes who just get massive farm. And if they do get that, they're so hard to stop late in the game. I mean, they just do so much damage. He has so much mobility, so he can just jump in and out of team fights, making him really hard to deal with. And I guess that's why they decided to go with a Drow Ranger counter to get that 6-second silence, so he, can't blink out of that team fight, perhaps. But overall, right off the bat, I think I'd like to give the advantage to EHOME just because of their initiation in the late game. What do you think?
Yeah, I definitely like their initiation. Beastmaster and Clockwork are just so good at that. The range stun on a melee for Beastmaster, and then Clockwork using that ulti just jumping on top of people. That's going to be really nice for them to be able to even shoot across the river, shoot across areas they wouldn't be able to get to otherwise. So as we see in the laning phase now here, as we get into that, we have Vengeful Spirit and Drow top, along with Tidehunters chilling up there looking to stop this Clockwork and Windrunner lane. That's very interesting. I suppose Windrunner's going to be the one picking up all the farm here, but how do you think this is going to play out up here?
Yeah, that's interesting, because usually Windrunner would be the support. Actually, a little bit of initiation here. It's a slow and then a stun on the Windrunners. She did actually pick up Windrunners her first level. Very smart play there. And as you know, there's the cogs on the Clockwork. Can he make it out? Oh, he doesn't have the cogs. He has the rocket flare. My apologies. They got another stun, another slow, and that should surely stop the depth of Clockwork, and they do finish him off. First blood going to the 4GL, but then actually she picks up a double kill at her tower, now trying to fight one-on-one against Shell, and a triple kill right off the bat. What about that?
Yeah, that is ridiculous. 4GL, they saw that, and they're like, oh, first blood, Drow Ranger, awesome. Wait, crap, triple kill to Windrunner. So unfortunate. That started off, that's exactly what they wanted. They wanted to be able to pick up the early kills on Drow Ranger, but of course, her dying with the rest of her lane right off the bat, really unfortunate. Good thing we were looking up there already to catch all that action. Here in the middle lane, we have Venomancer and Beastmaster duking it out. Veno really good at controlling the lane. We see he's actually going for the Venomous Gale and the Poison Sting over going a ward-heavy build. I guess he isn't as interested in really trying to keep the lane control. I guess he's not really too worried about getting pushed by Beastmaster too much, so he's going to be okay going for the more gank, hero kill centric build. And then here finally in the bottom lane, Anti-Mage and Witch Doctor against this Lich, who's going to be taking the solo, being able to get those early levels, getting the ultimate, which I think is really going to be key to a 4GL victory.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the interesting thing is, like you're saying, it's a 2-1-2, so basically 4GL really has no reason not to control this lane. I mean, they have the two supports with Drow, one with a nice slow armor debuff, the other with that stun. And, Windrunner does have that shackle shot, and with the cogs they have possibly a chance to survive, but really, I think they should be setting up a lot of kills and at least making sure that their Drow gets the free farm. Meanwhile, because bottom, Anti-Mage has no trouble. He's going to have a nice dominating free farm. They look like there's nothing they're going to do about it. They're just going to kind of accept it, let Lich get as much as he can, but in the end, all he can really do is sacrifice his creeps and try to keep it back a little bit.
Yeah, that's the really unfortunate thing about this bottom lane here, is there really isn't anything Lich can do in this situation. He's really going to have to play very passively. He isn't even up in the lane trying to, try and get experience from the creeps. unfortunately, Anti-Mage is so mobile, and then you have the opportunity for the stun and the Maledict by Witch Doctor. He can get put in some really bad situations very easily down there. So, you know, he has to be very cautious. I think it was interesting when we looked at that First Blood, as you were expecting to see power cogs. I've actually been watching some Clockwork games because I really like the hero. I really want to see more and more of him in the competitive scene, but for some reason, players that pick up Clockwork in Dota 2, they don't go for the power cogs for the first several levels. I think it's really interesting because when you look at Heroes of Newerth, you know, another MOBA, the hero Pharaoh, who's so similar to Clockwork, people wind up getting the what is essentially power cogs first level, and they're actually very aggressive with it, use it to drain mana, but not as important apparently in Dota 2 to Dota 2 players.
Yeah, I mean, you can obviously make sense. You know, you try to max out that rocket flare to really be harassed and have that global presence on the map. You know, because at level 4, it's a pretty short cooldown, down to 14 seconds, and it's still just hits so hard. 200 damage early on in the piece is really good. I just took that from Toga. I'm not going to say that again. Actually, you see some aggression bottom. Anti-Mage going on Lich past the tower. Really wants to put some harassment down, and you know he has no reason not to be you know, feeling dominant down here. Like I was saying, he already has his power treads 5 minutes in. I mean, he's just showing how good he's doing.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think even if you got a gank from Venomancer, obviously because, you know, they're a professional team and they're playing well together, there's going to be communication. So he knows when there's going to be a gank put down on him. And even then, he has Blink. He can get away from these sticky situations unless there's a chain of stuns. You know, 1 versus 2 or 3, he's still just going to be able to blink away and be relatively safe. So he's just going to be able to do as he pleases down here. He's going to be able to pick up the items he wants very quickly. He already has his power treads. He's going to be looking to finish Vanguard next, I would imagine. You know, it's only going to go downhill from there. Here in the top lane, actually, we have Drow gets taken out by Windrunner. Apologies for not catching the beginning of that. Now it looks like Clockwork's going to go in there with the Battery Assault, continuing to keep those mini stuns up. Help from Beastmaster. He's able to pick up kill there. And now that's 5 deaths in this top lane. Very unfortunate.
Yeah, I mean, that was just a beautiful setup. And, you know, fortunate for him, he did have that invisibility rune, which, as we know, with any hero that has an amazing initiation like a Beastmaster, it's going to be pretty deadly. You see him coming back in the middle, obviously, to try to slow down this Venomancer, who actually now, after he got those 3 levels initially in Venomous Gale and in Poison Sting, he now actually is getting those wards and looks like he's maxing them out to try to push that lane. So, you know, obviously keeping the aggression, they want to get those early tower kills maybe to make up. Actually, bottom lane, a little castle on the Lich, but it's not going to be enough because Anti-Mage just too hurt, and he's actually kind of caught out back here. Pretty hurt. He has no scroll TP either, so all he can really do is kind of sit here and wait for his creeps to push up so he can get out.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Oh, he just barely misses a Vengeful Spirit coming in, who is unable to get the stun off. So he will get. Oh no! It looks like Venomancer's going to try and come in here. The Venomous Gale does land on him. He goes into the creeps and he gets killed by the neutral creeps. He does lose that gold, but he does not give any to the opposing team. Definitely the better of the 2 situations there, but you know, unable to blink over into the river to safety. So it's good they were able to catch him, because obviously when you have a hero that's pushing past a tower willy-nilly multiple times, you need to at least scare him off to try and give Lich some kind of safety down there.
Yeah, definitely. You know, so good port in there and good movement from that middle lane to make sure he doesn't escape. Venomancer actually choosing to go Arcane Boots and Ring of Basilisk first, so really looking to have that big mana pool and, you know, good regen, I guess, to keep the wards flowing. Actually, you see Witch Doctor kind of running around in their jungle. I'm not sure. He doesn't have any wards, so it looks like he's just roaming to see what's going on. Possible action here on Clockwork, actually. He gets a little caught out by Slow. Not enough mana for the stun, though. Eventual great cast. Bounces on 3 of them. Windrunner tries to come from behind, do some damage. Maledict did go down already on this Titan. He's absolutely going to drop here. Gets the kill for Windrunner, so really good turnaround there.
Yeah, that's really, you know, they really want to be able to take down that Clockwork. It's unfortunate that they couldn't finish him off there. You know, 4 people from EHOME on this top lane. They may try and do something to Slither here, or to Venomancer, pardon me, but you know, those wards just help him get entrenched very well. It's very dangerous to try and push into some Venomancer wards. You know, they don't do a ton of damage, but it really starts to add up, and especially when you consider the slow they put on, you can get put in some pretty unfortunate situations. He is able to pick up this double damage rune bottom. I want to go back to this Clockwork pick. I really do like it. I think one of the things that's really neat about him is the fact that he can actually push lanes that he's not even in. When you think about it, I think it's one of the things people don't really take into consideration with that Rocket Flare. I was playing him the other day, and once you get an advantage and you look to push a lane, you can throw rockets into another lane to get the creeps to help you in a completely different area of the map. And so it'll be interesting to see what he's able to do with that. And of course, when Clockwork hits 6, we'll have to be looking for some really good ultis.
Yeah, absolutely. I also want to point out, because what you were talking about with his skill level, he's level 4 and still decide not to have even 1 point in that power cog. Kind of interesting choice there. You'd have to assume by level 6 he'd want to have 1 point, so when he ultis in, he'll be able to follow up on that initiation.
Yeah, it's kind of weird. I mean,
actually, Bob, I'm sorry, Lich actually ulted Clockwork right next to, or not Clockwork, sorry, Anti-Mage next to Creeps. He's still alive though, bounces out. Oh, he gets caught though in the woods, and that's gonna be a kill.
Oh yeah, very nice being able to pick up another kill in the Anti-Mage. If they can keep this up, they definitely have a shot. Unfortunately, Drow's been picked off several times so far this game. But if they can keep that Anti-Mage equally down, then they certainly have the ability to take this game. Drow definitely has more utility, I would say, than the Anti-Mage. Obviously, he can burn the mana, making heroes less effective in team fights, but an AoE silence for 6 seconds, that's just obscene. And it's certainly going to be helpful when you consider you have ultis like Witch Doctors, who actually in the middle lane is looking to go in here. Oh, yes, on the Venomancer. He will go down. The help of Beastmaster. And so that's yet another kill for EHOME.
Wow, really good setup there by Beastmaster. Just comes in right from the river up top, decides to ulti on him, and then Witch Doctor follows up with that cast of Maledict. Maledict, just such a strong ability. And, I think it's really underrated in the big grand scheme of things, because not only does it do that ticking damage that's based on how much damage, how much every 100 health they've lost since this began, but also during that, you can't regen health, which is such a crucial part of it,
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we've seen a lot of teams where you have, like, Mechansm and then a Chen, and you have additional heals coming out as well from, different heroes. That's really huge. It can really shut down a lot of strategy as far as picking up those heal-centric heroes like Omni Knight and Chen.
Yeah, definitely. And I also like, the other reason I like seeing Witch Doctor pick up so much is because I love seeing the variation of builds people go. If it's a team based on, pushing rather than ganking, you'll see that Voodoo Restoration actually picked up and, maybe even maxed out with the cast. But in this case, obviously with the Beastmaster, the Windrunner, Clockwork, they have a lot of initiation, so he's maxing out that Maledict, and I think it really makes the game obviously more fun for us to watch, but also just, really synergizes with the rest of the team.
Certainly, yeah. I mean, I really do like picking up the 1 rank of Voodoo Restoration. Obviously, this is game specific. He doesn't need to heal Anti-Mage. Perhaps if this was a 2 versus 2 lane, he might have the 1 rank of it to help provide some healing, but he isn't even near Anti-Mage half the time. He's off in the jungle pulling creeps and whatnot. So, just the 1 rank of it, it only costs 8 mana per second. Really not that big of a deal in the grand scheme of things, especially once you start picking up some regeneration of your own. It's just a really nice skill to be able to have.
Definitely, and I want to... 12 minutes in, Windrunner already has a Mechansm. I mean, we're going to chalk that up, obviously, to our 5-0 start. 33-14, not a bad CS, but nowhere as good as the other carries. But since those 5 kills, probably that triple kill right off the bat, you'd have to imagine, really helped in that. But that's going to really be nice if they can get some maybe team pushes going on these Tier 1 towers, have a mech up when the other team doesn't. I think that's going to really make a difference.
Yeah, it's nice to be able to see in this top lane that Drow's actually able to pick up some farm of her own. She does have her power tries finished, has the poor man shield. So hopefully she'll be able to come back here now that she has 1 rank of her ult. It'll be a lot easier for her to last hit. So hopefully she'll be able to make something happen there, especially with all of the armor reduction put out here by Tidehunter and Vengeful Spirit. That's the really nice thing about the lane. Slow, stun, and then all that stacking armor reduction. It really is a perfect situation for Drow to be able to pick up some kills. All they need to do is find a way to put this Windrunner in a bad situation.
Right, and I mean, she does have the Windrun, so she is, pretty decent at escaping. She only needs 1 rank. If she can get a good shackle shot too, of course.
Here in the bottom lane, sorry, Beastmaster's going to go in. He had smoke up. He's going to go ahead and ult, get behind the tower with Anti-Mage, and they're going to pick up a kill there. They're probably going to definitely look to push this tower. He also had a double damage rune in his bottle. They're going to easily take this. Some more gold picked up there for EHOME. And they're just getting further and further ahead. I mean, we look at this gold chart, and the difference now approaches 3,000. Strong start. They're going to look to continue that.
Yeah, and
here in that top lane, actually, we have some harass going back and forth. Witch Doctor looks to come up and help Windrunner out a bit. They were looking to push up closer and closer to this tower, but they will back off to Snow Veil.
Yeah, I think they would really benefit from some arcane boots on their team. I would have expected Witch Doctor to go for it, but obviously, and actually, he does have Ancient Gold. He might be saving for those. And if they get that along with that mechanism, I think they'd be really powerful. Getting more of these tier 1 towers down. Beastmaster has done an excellent job. Actually, they're kind of pushing middle lane. They'll probably get stopped here though, but he's just done such a phenomenal job already ganking the lanes. I mean, he's already gone both bottom and top and set up some really good kills. So what more could you really ask from your middle?
Definitely, yeah. I mean, that's huge, especially we can tell in this lineup. Him and Clockwork, he's going to be able to really initiate well and gank from afar when heroes may not be expecting it. Clockwork now level 7, still hasn't picked up a point in the power cogs, does have his ulti though. He actually looks to move to the bottom lane, might try and set something up here on Venomancer, just push all the way up to this tower, doing what Venomancers do best and pushing, but now put up in an unfortunate situation, and here caught with the ulti, using that stun to keep him from getting too far out of place. Anti-Mage blinks in, looking to pursue. Will he drop the ulti? No, Clockwork is able to pick up that kill on Venomancer. And yeah, there you go. And that's kind of, I think, the reasoning behind not picking up the power cogs. Is if you level up that stun, it's enough that if it's just one person, you can chase them down and they won't get too far away. I still do like picking up, though, with the 1 point in power cogs. But as we can see, this Clockwork choosing not to. We'll have to see when he does actually decide to pick it up.
Yeah, I think it would have actually helped a lot there. I mean, after you get that ulti, it only stuns first level at 1 second. So, they can react pretty quickly after that. And, I mean, Venomancer does have a slow, and you're right. That was a good situation because there weren't creeps to take those stuns. But if he just had that 1 rank, it would have really allowed Anti-Mage to get there with, more ease and to be able to set the kill. But obviously it worked out in their favor, so not a huge deal. Actually, 4 of them grouping up here top from 4GL. Going to dominate that poor image. He is just going to fall. Those creeps might get the kill. There they go. But it's only 3, it looks like, for the EHOME boys. So, I don't think they're actually going to push this tower. They're going to look to just keep farming away, give that Anti-Mage, just allow him to do what he wants to do. He's already got a Ring of Hell, a Broadsword in his stash, and a Claymore. Yeah,
so there you go. That's his Battle Fury right there. Beastmaster looking to pick up Vanguard. Or he does finish the Vanguard, pardon me. Yeah, we'll have to see if 4GL can pick up a tower kill here. They desperately need it. They have a lot of AoE abilities to their advantage. They have the Venomancer wards to help them push. I think if they get a good Lich ulti and a good Ravage from Tidehunter, they can definitely set up themselves a couple kills and the tower kill here. We'll have to see if they're able to do that.
Well, what you're forgetting is Tidehunter is level 4. And
okay,
that just shows how dominated that tri-lane really got.
Being level 4 often makes it difficult to use your ultimate. So, he will have the gush. He will have the armor reduction from that. Vengeful Spirit also not level 6. Won't be able to swap anybody around and put anybody in an unfortunate position. And as you can see here, even with all these Venomancer rewards, they're not able to get too much done to this tower. That's the one nice thing about Windrunner being in a solo lane too, is you get that power shot ranked up, and you can do crazy amounts of damage to creeps, as we can see there, picking up a couple kills with it. Here in the middle lane, they're forced to actually port mid because Beastmaster and Clockwork have tried pushing up to take this lane. A good Lich ult comes out, kill Clockwork. Will they be able to kill this Beastmaster? Yes, they will. Actually, do they both get split among the team? I do believe Beastmaster's goal gets split. I think Clockwork does. Yeah, so that's actually really nice though when you think about it. That actually gets some money up to the Drow Ranger, who comes out almost dead. Not sure what happened to her, but she has her Yasha picked up. She has a Scroll Town portal. She'll be looking to go right back into a lane to try and keep up her farm.
Yeah, I mean, it looked like Clockwork and Beastmaster. I mean, the 2 initiators of the team both went in on Drow. It's really surprising, actually, that she did survive. I'm not sure if that had anything to do with the lack of cogs again, because I wasn't watching, but you never know. Maybe that would have been the difference between a kill and not a kill. Meanwhile, she's just trying to hold off this top tower by herself, and she does have that Yasha, and she does have 1,000 health actually because of those power treads. So decently tanky for this point in the game, but she's just definitely not getting the farm Anti-Mage. I mean, she's up to a 68 and 20 creep score, Anti-Mage up to 109 and 25.
Yeah, I mean, Drow has this Yasha. Yeah, that's a nice first pickup. But as we see, Anti-Mage is running around here in his jungle. He does have the Battle Fury finish. He was able to pick up the Void Stone, the mana regeneration part of Perseverance. He does get that, and now his farm is just going to take off even more. That's kind of really the nice thing about these melee carries in this game. They get these AoE damage items, and then they just start to shoot out of control. I think that's really the main difference between the melee carries and the range carries, is the range, they really kind of have to rely on the mana styles to get the images to do some AoE damage for them. But outside of that, their farm is a little bit limited.
Definitely. Venomancer decided to go next item, Hood of Defiance, which you're going to have to imagine turning that into a pipe. Actually, they're looking to set something up here on this Beastmaster. Tidehunter dropped his ultimate. They are going all out on this Beastmaster, and he is most certainly dead. So a lot of effort to kill him, but, you know, a kill's a kill in the end, and it was revengeful, which I'm sure that's not the best. But either way, they do get another kill, so, you know, try to swing the momentum a little bit back in their favor. But what do you think? So Venomancer, pipe, is that a good first choice here for this team?
Oh, yeah, I definitely think so. I mean, you look at the amount of spell damage you have coming out from the other team. Like, obviously, in the late game, they're really going to be worried about Anti-Mage, but for now, the Axes from Beastmaster, the Rockets from Clockwork, of course, everything from Witch Doctor, being able to stop some of that damage is crucial. And, you know, Venomancer is really kind of a squishy person for how bold he kind of has to play. You know, he wants to be able to push up, he wants to be able to put pressure on these towers, and ideally he'd like to do it by himself. But when you don't have that the kind of tankiness and regeneration that you get from Hood of Defiance, and then the spell damage absorption that you get from Pipe, he goes down really quickly. So I think that's a really smart pickup by him.
Absolutely. Windrunner was trying to push this top lane. It is not quite in deny range, thankfully, so, you know, it's going to live to see another day. She actually decided to go with the Staff Wizardry rather than finishing. She could finish this Power Treads anytime she wanted to, but I think she'd rather try to build that Force Staff, which obviously can prove pretty useful in team fights.
Yeah, I think that's definitely what is going to wind up going on for her. She definitely wants to put that together. You know, those are really the two big items that you want to see on Windrunners, the Mechansum and then the Force Staff, and she's already got almost both of them here at the 20-minute mark. So she's definitely getting the farm she wants, and now she's going to even be able to pick up a little bit more farm with these Venomancer wards up here. She does have to be careful, though, as she does get swapped by Vengeful Spirit, gets stunned as well. Here comes a Lich ulti, not much to bounce around. It does get 2 bounces to her, and Venomancer is going to pick up the kill there. The last second Beastmaster tries to come in with the double damage room, but he is unable to do anything. We'll have to see if he and Witch Doctor can stop this push and perhaps get a kill of their own. You know, that double damage rune on Beastmaster is huge. It's about to run up, though, so they're going to definitely need some support if they look to save this tower.
Absolutely. I mean, Beastmaster actually already dropped his ultimate, too, and it's another minute before that comes up. So it's kind of a waste, and now, you know, against all these wards, all they have is this Witch Doctor to really try to help them out. I guess they're really not too concerned about it. So there's a bunch of them just kind of wasting their time, and meanwhile, Anti-Mage doing what he loves to do, especially that Battle Fury, just farming away. And I mean, he picks up a Sage's Mask, actually. Make me think, actually, looking at his stash, yes, he's going to try to finish up Vladimir's Offering, possibly, as a second item.
Interesting, going to get that lifesteal. You know, there are a lot of melee heroes on this team. You have Clockwork and Beastmaster, so I'm sure they would like the little present of some lifestealing during some of these team fights.
As well as the damage aura.
Yeah, that as well. You know, I had something important to say, and I have no idea what it is. Beastmaster and Witch Doctor look to push this top lane. Vengeful Spirit, Tidehunter, and Venomancer look to come in here and stop it. Are they going to be able to take down this Beastmaster? He's already down to half health. Looks like Witch Doctor will come in. A good channeled ult from Witch Doctor. He will not get interrupted, it doesn't look like. Beastmaster will go down to the Venomancer. Witch Doctor, he's also in a sticky situation. He will get taken out as well. These 3 heroes doing a lot of work. Now it's left a Windrunner. Are they going to be able to pick her off? Oh, looks like Anti-Mage just come in, and he's going to look to wreak havoc. With all that damage, his Vladimir's Offering finished. He does pick up a kill on Vengeful Spirit, and it looks like he wants some more. He's going to look to blink in on top of Lich. Continue to put up some damage, but the slow by that Frost Armor is proving invaluable. Slowing him down, keeping him off these heroes. Will he continue? Oh, here comes the Clockwork ulti. Coming in here to stop Venomancer. The stun is going to stop him from escaping, and Clockwork is going to pick up a kill there.
That was a terrific comeback, because they really good initiation from 4GL. at their tower. Tidehunter with that ultimate Lich bouncing around, and they did, have the mech hands on Windrunner, but they still managed to kill Beastmaster before he really got to do any kind of damage. But then they kind of forgot about Antimage, and sure enough, he came in and cleaned up like he was supposed to, along with that Clockwork ulti. So, really good job turning that around at the end there, and they did manage to get the tower kill too, I believe at least. Also, as we're talking about leveling up abilities, now you can't tell, but I was monitoring Clockwork, and he actually decided to max out Battery Assault before even Rocket Flare. Is that something you think makes sense?
I think for the cooldown reduction, that's something you want to be able to do. 20 seconds is a really short amount of time. Actually, if you look up here at the bottom, Antimage, in an unfortunate situation, he will get taken out by Drow Rangers. You saw he was sitting there on that ledge trying to blink out, but he was unable to. I imagine the silence from Drow Ranger came out to stop that, and she's going to pick up the kills on this Ancient Golem. Clockwork, yes. I think the cooldown reduction is a smart decision. 20 seconds, that's potentially huge. That's the potential to use it twice in one fight. You can initiate with it, try and get a kill. If you continue chasing, you might be able to get the opportunity to use it again. And at this point in the game, the damage on Rocket Flare isn't as important. He is really here to try and set up kills for his team. Early on, the Rocket Flares are really good to help whittle people down, help put up the harassment. But around the 25-minute mark, you really are just starting to look to kind of fill your role, and Clockwork's role really is at initiation, and you really want to try and hold people in place so the rest of your team can pick up kills.
Definitely. That's the beauty of him, as well as, Beastmaster, similar thing. He'll ulti in, and then he'll just keep his bore on someone and try to slow him down. But, after he ultis, he's not worthless by any means, but he doesn't do nearly as much as something like Clockwork, who can still modify how the fight goes with his moves. So, I definitely like, seeing that kind of build. As far as items go, Lich did finish his Mechanism, as well as a pipe finished on Venomancer. So, they look like they're ready for a team fight as well.
Yeah, definitely. They have some warriors in the bottom lane. 4 of them grouped up here in the bottom lane. They still haven't taken a tier 1 tower, and these wards, that's why you pick up, you pick him up so that you can get these early tower kills, and they just haven't been able to do that yet. He is looking to push that lane while his buddies are up there in the jungle, making sure that nobody comes in to stop them. Drow now comes down to complete the set, all 5 of them here in this bottom lane, but in the top lane, you have 4 members from EHOME looking to take this tier 2 tower, and I think they will gladly make that trade, putting up some serious damage on this tier 2 tower, while Anti-Mage was also in the middle lane picking up some farm and putting on some harass there with the regular creeps. The group does break up down at bottom. 4GL does split back up. They do want to try and stop the push here from EHOME. They do lose their tower after picking up the one at bottom. So 1 for 1, but a tier 2 tower obviously greater than a tier 1 tower.
Yeah, really smart play there by EHOME. Noticing, we'd rather not try to save a tier 1, and noticing how vulnerable their top was, really good idea. And that was without Anti-Mage, who just does a lot of their damage, I should say. So, to kill a tower that quickly without him, and without Windrunner even picking up her ult yet, because that's normally a good way to take out towers, that's pretty impressive, actually. Switching it back over to the gold chart, and now 7,500 difference overall for the team. Obviously it has to do with that being their first tier 1 tower kill for 4GL. Would you like to see them get a little more aggressive here?
I think so. They're doing a good job of sticking together as a group. They don't want to get anybody picked off because that's just going to add insult to injury. But, as they're running around as a group, they're leaving a lot of space around the map for this Anti-Mage to run around. We saw him up top. He helped up there. He was in the middle lane. He went a little north. Then he ported back mid, and then he took out some jungle creeps, and he went straight down bottom to pick up farm. He's just running around like a nut, being able to pick up plenty of gold. We just saw he dropped about 3,000 on something. We'll have to see what is flown out to him. BKB sitting on the courier. So he's really looking to get set up well for the late game.
Yeah, he is definitely priming himself for a position there. And that BKB, once he pops that, he can't get silenced. He can't get Lich ult. He can get swapped, but I don't think you want to swap a BKB to Anti-Mage into the middle of your team. That might not end well. So. Look out for him in this next team fight. I'm sure now with that up on him, they're definitely going to be actually looking to push something here because they have all that initiation, and they know the other team is just turtling. They're running around as that food for 5, so they're probably not going to pick anyone off. So you know, they're really not left to too many more options, except unless they want to just let Anti-Mage farm out the jungle, which it kind of would work, I suppose.
Yeah, he is really starting to get ridiculous. He hasn't done anything with that poor man's shield, but you know, that's okay. We'll let that fly. I'm sure he'll probably will wind up selling it at this point. Just pick up another damage item. So you can see they're kind of starting to split up now. Drow Ranger looking to take some farm in the bottom lane. But yeah, we've seen Anti-Mage get put in a bad situation by the ancient spawn at bottom river with that silence. You know, stopping him from blinking away. Being one of his few deaths this game.
Check out top.
So, top lane. Oh no, it looks like Cordial's going to try and put up a gank here on Witch Doctor. And QQQ playing the Beastmaster. Witch Doctor will get taken out almost immediately. He puts the Maledict up on Tidehunter, but that's not going to do much. He also used, and here comes the rest of EHOME. They look to turn this around. Will they be able to pick up any more kills? Windrunner gets a double kill, picking up a kill on Vengeful Spirit. Gush thrown out by Tidehunter, trying to save himself. He will not get away. Looks like a shackle shot thrown out here by a Windrunner, getting that mini stun there. And yes, Anti-Mage will finish it off 3 for 1.
Fantastic job there. Good support. Anti-Mage, I had no idea where he was, but see, that right there shows just how useful it is to have those tier 1 towers. I mean, the fight broke out right in that jungle near that tower, and their team was able to just support them just because they still had that tower, whereas the other team had to run in from the sides. And I mean, they were a group of 4, and but they had to drop like their Tidehunter ulti and some other initiations on heroes that maybe they wanted to save it for other ones instead, like the Anti-Mage, who was free to do whatever he wanted afterwards.
Yeah, you know, while all that was going on, Drow was able to push that bottom lane. They are able to pick up their first tier 2 towers. That's very helpful, and she does get out to safety. You know, she's doing a really good job this game. She herself now sitting on 3,200 gold, but she just cannot keep up with this Anti-Mage. You know, I was thinking that's the second time we've seen up in the top lane where, you know, getting some reinforcements really helpful. You know, like you were saying, those towers, by keeping up those tier 1 towers, you can really get around the map quickly enough to be able to help out people in sticky situations. And, you know, the teamwork that these guys have been showing, it's just been phenomenal. Here we see Roshan does go down. They look to start another fight here. A good cask stun, a good Maledict going down on 2 people, an ult dropped, and now you see Anti-Mage just pops at BKB, and he just looks to tear people apart. He and Beastmaster will look to try and chase down this Venomancer. Yes, they will be able to take him down. Clockwork actually helps out with that rocket. They take down 3 of the opposing team. Drow able to survive along with the Lich, but they're not going to be able to stop the kill on this bottom tower, and they'll be hard-pressed to stop a push through to the base, the bottom lane.
Another great job there. I mean, EHOME just did so much damage to that Roshan. He just melted. And, you know, it was good for Jill. They knew what was up, and they were heading there, but by the time they got there, he was already dead, and they were 4 of them just clumped up on this staircase. And, I mean, when you have a Witch Doctor on their team with that paralyzing cast that just bounces 8 times, you just saw how useful it is. Tidehunter, I don't think he even got his ulti off. No, he didn't even get to use his ulti in that fight, which is just so crucial.
Yeah, EHOME being jerks, they decided to push mid instead of bottom. Fine, do whatever you want. But yeah, I mean, that's really unfortunate. I think that's probably one of the worst situations you can find yourself in these types of games, where the Roshan, the Kongor, the Baron goes down as you arrive. And they're just, oh, okay, well, here comes the team. We have the extra life, and now we can just roll over some kids. I mean, it's really unfortunate getting caught, and like you said, that little choke on the steps. And yeah, good cask, good Maledict, good ulti by Witch Doctor, really helping set up a lot of those kills there. They are able to take out this tower at mid. That's just going to be more gold, and then, you know, a defenseless lane. So they're going to look to split up. Look like they want to just farm some more. While this Anti-Mage picks up an Eagle Horn. Looks like he's going to look to finish another big item.
Yeah, he already has the core staff in his stash, another 1,200 gold saved up. And he has no reason to save for that buyback now that he has the Aegis of the Immortal. So you know he's going to definitely finish that butterfly off. As far as items on the other side are all around, Clockwork finishes his Hood Defiance. You know, we see here on Beastmaster, he has his Pipe. So Pipe and Mechanism, they've had their combo now, I guess, for these team fights. Witch Doctor doesn't really have much, but he doesn't really need much, because as you see, his spells are just so useful. You know, his items just can come second to that. And then on the other side, they really don't have a lot going for them. I mean, Venomancer kind of looks confused, actually, with his build, to be honest. A plate mail and a vitality booster.
Yeah, he's really just looking for survivability at this point. I mean, that is really the big problem with Venomancer is, he can do a lot of damage. You kind of assume that Venomancer is just kind of going to die, and you just sort of hope that he gets that ulti off. But, he's really just trying to get that survivability. And, the armor, the life, he's definitely trying to survive against Anti-Mage. I think it's really interesting, too, when you look at the items that Anti-Mage is building. First, he builds a BKP, so he can't get silenced by Drow Ranger. And now he's building the Butterfly, which is going to give him evasion against Drow Ranger. And she's just not getting the farm to be able to pick up like a Monkey King bar to be able to counter out that evasion. She does have a ton of gold. She actually just drops it on Black King bar. Still has 1,000 left over. So, yeah, that Butterfly is going to be very crucial in these team fights. And Anti-Mage, it's going to take a lot to bring him down at this point.
Well, I don't know about you, but I have mixed feelings about rushing the Black King bar. She does need survivability, so I understand that part of it. However, if you look at the other team, Beastmaster, and actually I'm going to finish that afterwards because it looks like there's probably going to be a fight breaking out here.
Yeah, Venomancer trying to lay down his wards. They just want to protect these Raxes. There's not a lot they can do. They try and put some harass on Anti-Mage, but he just eats that gush and backs off. Beastmaster's activated a double damage rune so that they can help take down these creeps fast and keep pushing in the base. And that's the really unfortunate thing about this tower being dead, is that they really don't have the help they need to clear out these creeps. They do have the Venomancer wards. Those actually do a really fantastic job at killing creeps. They don't individually do a lot of damage, but together they can do quite a bit. They're just going to sit on this Rax. Get a kill here. Here comes a Ravage from Tidehunter. Here comes an ulti from Lich. They really want to try and do something with positioning, but so many bounces between creeps. Vengeful Spirit is going to go down here by the looks of it. Anti-Mage dominating, picks up a double kill, now picks up a triple kill, just running around rampant. They cannot stop him, and now the middle lane will fall.
Wow, and that's the GGs are called, so that's going to end the game here. EHOME going to win this semifinal, sending 4GL to the losers bracket, or I'm sorry, the losers losers final rather. But overall, fantastic play here. By the Clockwork. I guess, there's not too much to say about now, but I just, in regards to that Drow pickup, you look at Beastmaster ulti and the Clockwork ulti, the two initiations both go through that BKB, can still work on her, at least for the stun. So, overall, I'm really not a fan of that pickup.
Yeah, hindsight's 2020. You can really understand it. There's a lot you want to try and silence, like we were talking about earlier. The Witch Doctor, they did get some silences off on Anti-Mage, and they did get at least one kill off of it, but yeah, unfortunately, we say it time and time again, just like a broken record, Anti-Mage gets that farm he's looking for, he's going to take the game away with him. So thanks for, I'm going to say thanks for tuning in. It's technically still not over. They haven't killed the Ancient Fortress, but the GGs have gone out. 4GL just sitting in their base. Just want to thank you guys for tuning in, and hope you continue to watch as we finish out this ESWC tournament worth $22,000.